Good morning, little bees. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, hello, whatever. Greetings. I hope for those who celebrated, you had a good Thanksgiving. Or whatever other holidays it may have been these past few days. I haven't really been keeping up with that. But for those of us who celebrated Thanksgiving, I'm sure there was some beautiful times. I'm sure there might have been some more lonely times for some of you. And I'm sure there might have been, as it happens every year, some possible highly voiced or loud voiced discussion. So when I woke up this morning, I found a spread I saved some time ago, recently. That's called Fix Any Relationships. That's posted by selftarotblog.com. And I figured we could look into it since it's Friday. We have a new moon on Sunday. Is it a new moon? Yes. But I would like to try this reading today. So as it so happens, sometimes I'm hesitating between two decks. I'm hesitating with the United States of Tarot by Elena McCune. I hope I didn't butcher her name. Last year I had the time to do daily messages that were a little longer, and I liked to use, because for those of you who listen to regular videos, you'll know that I try to stick to a deck per month. And I did use the United States of Tarot, Elena, on the TikTok channel. So I did think about you. I said I was going to use it again in November, and I did. Sadly, I don't have the time to do the 15-20 minutes messages in the morning anymore right now. So I didn't get to use it on the YouTube channel because it's 60 seconds videos. But I did have fun. So anyways, in order to keep my promise, I wanted to use this one. But the season is starting for me to start using Yuletide, so I'm torn between the two because I love this deck too. So I'm gonna let the pendulum, I'm gonna let your guides, our guides, decide which deck we're going to use today. I hope that will be fine with you. I'm not gonna ask yes or no. I'm gonna try to see where it goes. Because I'm sorry, I just saw a message coming in that distracted me. If I say, like, can I use this one, it's going to tell me yes, for both of them. So, s'il te plaît, pendulum, will you please, knowing that yes is a circle, will you please let me know which deck, show me which deck to use for today's reading on fixing any relationship, s'il te plaît. Okay, that looks like a yes to me. Thank you very much. Okay, so please point towards which deck to use. On the left, we have United States of Tarot, and on the right, we have Yuletide. Please let me know which deck to use. Point towards the deck I should use for this reading, s'il te plaît. Elena, I think you'll be happy. I think we are pointing towards the United States of Tarot. And it's very funny because I really wanted to use this one. But we know the guides have a way of telling us, the message we need to hear. So let's see. Give me just a minute, a second. Okay, apologies. I just had a coughing fit. So let's see. You know what? I was focused on trying to figure out which deck to use, and I did not decide. Well, I guess we're going to use the Angels Among Us to see which divine energy is going to guide this this reading. We have Mother Mary at the bottom of the deck. I like this. I mean, nothing but love there, right? Okay. S'il vous plaît, nos anges, nos gifts d'amour, nos anges, which divine energy is guiding this. Fix any relationships. That's so long. Okay, so they jumped out in I forget the term I'm trying to use, but in honor of April, one of our little bees. I'm gonna let them be. I like that we are trying to find out about how to fix any relationship, but we still have a male and female energies with these two. We also have I like this that we have two different background, two different cultures. Definitely here, more like a Nordic one, more like I want to say Egyptian, so I'm going to go towards African and Asia, because Egypt is really like on the east side of Africa, and then, you know, bordering the other side of that world. So I'm really going towards Asia with that one. I mean, you know, like Middle Eastern. There you go. So Saint Daphne talks about mental health and well-being support. So she helps people who have I don't want to say mental issues, but more like yeah, mental health issues. I'm going to go with that. And with the green, to me, that talks about healing, and with the clover leaf in the middle, that talks about luck heading our way. And we have lilies as earrings. To me, that talks about purity as well. There is a sword tattoo on her neck, which to me talks about speaking your truth as well, and it's right on her neck by her throat. So it really feels like some of them, when I say mental issues, I mean like blockages, anxiety, depression, stuff that makes you feel low, is because you're not voicing it. She's holding a book with a clover on it as well. And for some of you, there could be the reminder to, hello, go get that professional help you need. With Thoth, we have gold that talks about the solar plexus chakra. This was a heart chakra. With the gold war with the solar plexus, that talks more about, you know, what's interesting, it's towards like the stomach, liver, small intestine, so your gut. And your gut, to me, your gut area makes me want to remind you about following your intuition, trusting your intuition. If you hear something, you know, that really you want to scream certain things, then it's the time. You have the sun on the chest that talks to me about healing of the heart as well. Thus, the keywords are writing, wisdom, time, and Akashic records. I love how there is the moon on his book. What kind of tattoo? We have birds, we have snakes, we have, okay, so we have, Dimfner had a cross around her neck, and Thoth has a cross on his forearm. I cannot remember the meaning of this cross, but to me, they both go to some kind of religious aspect of the relationship, possibly, or beliefs, or lack thereof. There is the eye of Isis or Osiris. I can never remember, you know, if it's looking left or right, which one it is. But, you know, again, like, we're going towards some religion here. And like I said, like, there is the notion of two different cultures, two different backgrounds, two different upbringings. But still, if you look at them too, I mean, it looks like we can notice them really well. You notice very, I'm having the word decided. They are people, strong-minded people, strong-willed people. They both have earrings, interestingly enough. They both look very serious and like, you know, I was going to say like they're not afraid to speak their truth. Yes, they are screaming to speak their truth and they are holding back, both of them. I want to get a little bit more information for those of us who are not familiar with them. I know they've come out before, but oh, and by the way, welcome to the new little bees. It's a pleasure to have our little half growing. So Saint Dymphna. Oh, I don't want to burn you sauce here. Take a look at her. She's a patron saint of mental health, mental illness, depression, and anxiety. Although it's always important to seek professional advice, Saint Dymphna can be a real comfort and support when dealing with any mental health or well-being issues, anxious or unhelpful thoughts. She can also support with issues relating to sexual health and is said to be the patron saint of runaways, psychologists, psychiatrists, and neurologists. So it's not just people that need mental health support that this energy is going to today. It's also people who help. So that's nice. Working with the crown chakra, which I didn't see coming, even though there is the round around the head. I mean, I guess it makes sense because mental health, but with the green I was going towards healing. But I love that you also have the health of your crown chakra. Saint Dymphna can help to clear the clutter of the mind and help you get whatever support you need in any area of your life. The oracle of this oracle card is ask for the help and support you need. It is not a sign of weakness to ask for help. It is a sign of self-love and courage. I'm going to read you the love and relationship as well because this is a reading about fixing relationships. Look after your own mental health and well-being before trying to support anyone else. You know, it's like if you are sick yourself, how will you be able to tend to the sick? So you have to remember to focus on yourself, which is what even though I'm doing a reading to you all, I love doing this. This is my true pleasure and it's still taking care of me in a way, but I will go and clean the clutter of my home, which is missing with the clutter of my head. If you are in a good place, your relationships will be too. Put your own oxygen mask on first. I love this. To do anything else? No. Always seek professional support when needed. So that is the strong message of this card as well. Now, I'm curious about those because I want to know if, I'd like to know about the eye on his chest, which also talks about divine protection there. Number 34. So we have like a number 3 that takes me to the Trinity with 21. That also talks to me about somebody who's becoming an adult. So with number 21, especially in the United States, this is when young people are recognized as adult. So this is, you know, the start of your life. I was going to say the start of a new life. No, this is really the start of your life because you are responsible for everything. With Thos 4-7, we have the number 7, which to me, I always equate number 7 with perfection. And also the end of a cycle for some reason, because 8 is infinity. Okay, Thos. Thos came out several times because like the page is marked. So I've read it many times, and for some reason, I can't remember, so apologies. He is the ancient Egyptian god of wisdom. You think I'd remember that with the owl as a logo. Time and writing. He is most usually depicted as a man with the head of an ibis or sometimes a baboon. Sauce is a scribe. Every time I say baboon, I think of Harry Potter, with Minerva, Professor McGonagall. She has a sentence, and see the way she says baboon, it always makes me laugh. So anyways, maybe we'll speak to someone. Thus is a scribe of the Akashic records, which hold all of the information about every single moment of your lives, past, present, and future. So that also tells us how there is a destiny. There is written things. We can change some of that, some paths, I guess, or some directions. Terminator, like nothing is written, but there is still places, people, moments, stuff that will happen no matter what. It is how it is. You can ask thoughts to take you into the records to gain deeper insight into who you are, your life choices, life purpose, and past lives. Thoughts can also help you rewrite your records, helping you to see. I was just like saying Terminator, rewrite your records, helping you to choose and change the course of your destiny. You can always make the choice to do something different about you, about someone else, and it always starts with how you react and how you believe and how you trust and how grateful you are. You have the power to write your own future, to do so with wisdom. In the love and relationship, thus tells us that what is coming up in your relationships may be connected to past lives. Be aware of patterns and blocks that seems to come up over and over again in your relationships and start to change the story. Okay, so take control basically. Pay attention to the patterns. What happens to you all the time, what seems to be happening to you all the time. A lot of the times it's due to choices that we make, people that we keep around, relationships that we have. Oh, we have Melchizedek that wanted to show himself with spiritual development, law of attraction, and study. So that takes us back a little bit to this, because we study, we have the writing, the wisdom, the learning to grow, spiritual development, there is growth. And I really like this drawing. Okay, so this is the divine energies guiding this reading. This is quite something, because to me this is telling us about taking a certain responsibility in the way our relationships go as well. I need to put a little cream on my hands here. So let's see. I feel like using the energy as energy. Do we use how about the wisdom? You know what? I wanted to go with energy, but of course I have to go for the complicated one, the one that's over there, to find out. As I'm doing so, let me show you pretty coaster. Notice how she's sort of everything. We have the owl from the logo, we have the beehive, related to the channel. This is one of our little bees, Crystal, one of the first little bees, actually, who helped me work on the charm ball for the channel. She is fabulous, creative, and has a little store. So it's in the description if you want to go take a look to all the cool stuff she makes. Oh my god, here. She also made those chakra little things. Alors, let's see what the wisdom of the oracle is going to tell us about the energies. The general energies, s'il vous plaît, around how to fix this relationship. Well, that came out really quickly. We have observer, and I love this as a energy to fix your relationship. As an observer, you look at things from the bigger picture, and from really far away, because it's like two different planets. That makes me think of the Little Prince. Like if you I don't have the book around me, for those of you, and the Little Prince is a worldwide famous book by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Antoine takes me also to Saint Anthony, but and that also makes me think of the south of France because he was from, I want to say Marseille, but no, I think his plane is said to have ran into the water, like I fallen. I can't think of the term right now. Diving into the water in close to the town where I grew up. So I don't know if it's true or not, but I always heard that. So, anyways, as an observer, you are called to look at the situation from a bigger picture. As an observer, you are called to be quiet. As an observer, you are called to listen. As an observer, you are called to be a wallflower. So this could be describing some of your beings, and if this is a pattern of you just being on the observing line and not saying a word, maybe you need to think about that and start speaking your truth, as Daphne, why do I want to call her Daphne? Maybe there's a Daphne amongst us. As Dimshna suggests. And if you are on the talking too much, maybe you need to be on the observing side and seeing what it is that you may be responsible for in the relationships. There is stars to me that talks about hope and wishes. And you know what? And look at that. Building blocks. That really goes well with the mental issue here with the building blocks, like you tend to protect yourself. So I'm so sorry, little bees, for those who don't like for me to be doing too much reading. But I was talking about San Antonio here. Let's see if, yeah, he's going to hold the card. I'm going to talk about these as well before I get into the reading. So the observer with number 49, that takes us to number 4, and that takes us to number 1. So how you're called to start something anew. 49. Wow, this is one of the last cards. 48, 49. Perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. Most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences so much that they come to believe that these are the only reality. Get out of your head. There is not just you. There are times when you need to distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Okay, so we went through all of that. Now is one of those times in your life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, the people, the culture, and environment you're engaged with now. I love doing this. I was talking since the very beginning about the cultural differences, the different upbringings, the different experiences that shape people, their mind, their way of exchanging things, their way of communicating. So you need to be able to communicate with love. And I know firsthand, especially if you're dealing with your children, for example, or your parent, or even a boyfriend, lover, friend, a neighbor from different cultures, a co-worker, miscommunication is I think the number one problem in any relationships. So learning to communicate, and even if you talk to somebody who is just walls and will refuse to hear you, sometimes this may just be meaning to go with the 8 of Cups energy, which means like, okay, I've tried everything, goodbye. In a family, it's a lot harder, and I guess that's when you start considering mental health, I suppose. Okay, so you'll be so happy you did. Going back to, instead of only considering yourself, you need to understand condition, people, culture, and environment. You'll be so happy you did. Illumination is a miracle you seek and will indeed find. So I love the fact that, especially with the stars I was telling you, like there is hope and it will, you have your wish come true. If this is about a relationship, about fixing it, it doesn't mean the relationship will go the way you want to. It means it will get fixed. If it needs to be ended, this will be the fixing of this relationship so you can move on with your life. If this relationship, like the Akashic record tells us, if this relationship is meant to be, then it will also easily work itself out between the two of you. So we have a relationship message. Sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. That's a fun saying. Feelings can get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. I was talking about miscommunication. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Again, going back to the different background and your upbringing and your experiences. Take time out before you react. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. I feel like, once again, for those of you who want to, once I'm done going through those cards, you may stop. You don't need to go through the tarot, because the tarot will tend to repeat what we've covered, which I love, because this is going to be confirmation. But I feel like, and you can fast forward and see which card they will be, but it feels like we have the answers we need to have already. So take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. Take to higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself, in others, and in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. We could go further, but I was talking about the relationship, so this is great right there. The blockages, 28. The card, I feel, speaks for itself, but let's see if there is an advice. 28. You could be doing this out of protection for yourself also, like, keeping people away, isolating yourself. Every time you feel something that you feel is directed at you, you build more blocks and you build a wall. And you think you're so great at it too. Alors, strong foundations, a beautiful work in progress. I like that. You have everything you need to cultivate an extraordinary life. Let me repeat this. You have everything you need to cultivate an extraordinary life. I was talking about the energy of the number one, which is the energy of the magician, which has all the elements in their hand to create, to build, to master build an extraordinary life. So remember that. You have everything you need to do that. This is a time when your focus needs to be on the foundations you build upon. And it's not you built, it's you build. So you can, with the Akashic record, we're talking about you rewriting, you can rebuild your foundation. You need to trust yourself, know that you have that divine protection and all that wonderful energy and love within you, around you, that you can also give out to create beautiful new foundations. Your work, your relationships, and your very being are underwritten by your values, ethics, morals, and core beliefs. Are they still true for you? Will they stand the test of time and serve as a solid grounding upon which you construct your life? Now you are making changes that will affect everything in a positive way. Your destiny is truly a remarkable and beautiful design. I love that. I took the time to read this message, because based on everything else, this is not how I was reading this card at all. The relationship message, when you see this card, know that you are attracting new relationships into your life and solidifying the ones you already have. So with the fixing, also, you're not saying goodbye. When I was telling you, maybe fixing your relationship could mean that you're going to end with the energy of the Eight of Cups. You may be leaving something, but it doesn't mean that you will never see this person again. I love this. So you are attracting new relationship in your life by building them on the foundations of honesty, humility, clear communication, and a genuine desire to know one another. This is exactly what these two cards were telling us at the beginning. Speaking your truth, understanding the different backgrounds, and see if you spend the time. This is amazing. If you spend the time to just talk on, develop thoughts on just two cards, or even just one sometimes, you'll keep on getting the same message. I'm not going to keep going into that, but I love how this is already confirming what our first guide, divine energies were guiding us towards. So clear communication and genuine desire to know one another. And with a desire to know one another, you're going back on the observer and on the listening. You are moving toward laying the groundwork for a relationship with a firm footing that will ensure it can withstand, any storm. Long-standing relationships are also repaired and strengthened. You and the other person are stronger, wiser, and more powerful together than apart. Beautiful. So I love that this is not just you refusing to listen, but how this is reminding you that this is what you need to do, and how you can work on your foundation. However weak you think your roots may be, or broken, because you may be coming from a broken family, you may have had a difficulty with your upbringing, you may have felt alone, you may have felt abandoned. This is up to you to repair those roots. Which takes us back to Saint Dymphna, because through mental health you can reshape, reform, re-strengthen your roots. Wow. Okay, let's see now. This is a long reading, so I hope there's a lot of cards, so I'm going to try not to stay too focused on one. That's a lot of cards. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, let's see what the United States of Tarot. I have to keep the book because I don't know my American history very well, even though when I did become a citizen a few years back, so I had to study some stuff. I don't know everything, okay? So apologies for that. What do we have here that wanted to talk to us? The Four of Pentacles talks about somebody, again, the Four of Pentacles sends me back to the energies of this block. When I was talking about the blockages, notice how he's attached to his coin around him, how he's scared, how he's insecure, how he's worried. That could be somebody who won't let anybody go, who won't leave any freedom to anyone. That could be somebody who obviously is too worried about his financial insecurities, but also about his insecurity with people. So that could be someone who's very jealous, or who's just afraid to not let anybody in because of fear of getting hurt. Okay, alors s'il vous plaît, nos guides d'amour. We're going to do this reading for a little bees, for the hive, and for anybody visiting, stopping by. How can we fix any relationships? Whoa. The Prince of Swords. We have a certain immaturity here, and look at how he's just looking at his sword. He's sitting on the throne like a king when he's just a prince. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. So somebody who is a lot more relaxed and a lot more... We have two energies here. This lady, she's got it all together. She's got her cute dog on her. She's relaxing. She has the energy of the Nine of Pentacles to me, where she's worked and she's enjoying her wealth and she's comfortable in her life. And she speaks her truth with a just say no in the back. The Page of Sword the sword is a suite of the mental energy, of the thoughts and ideas and stuff like that. But the prince to me has a notion of the page and is somebody very immature. I'm curious to see, I don't want to spend too much time, but look at the fire. Like, this kid is raging. It's a kid. He's raging between his emotion, his fire, his passion, but I feel like someone who has a heart, like very reactive. So, and there is a snake at his foot. Like, this is somebody very unstable. We got like, they look like butterflies. So there is darkness around him, but there is still a hope for getting out of this. Like, and possibly due to the help of this person right here, more mature. Okay. Okay, enough with the... And we have the Princess of Swords. So same energy right there to me. Allez. I'm going to have to read because I like to know who these people are. Alors, s'il vous plaît, nos guides, how do we fix any relationships for Alana? What do we have at the bottom of the deck? Ooh, transformation. So this death card is horrible. So I'm just going to stick to the meaning of it. I want to say cut the shit. Wow. I love how we have the light of the full moon here. But death talks about a clean transformation, a transformation for the better, obviously. And we had the butterfly showing on the card that jumped out from the prince. That I feel like that talks to us about this beautiful transformation of yourself. The end of this darkness, because this death card talks about some horrible darkness of the time that... I'm just going to stop there. So, leave the past in the past, basically. You can rewrite as Toss told us and as this building blocks tells us. Okay, so the first card for a little bee is going to be in the middle, and it is, what is it that our little bee wants, s'il vous plaît, nos guides? What is it that you want? What is it that we want, s'il vous plaît, nos guides? What do we want? Well, the Five of Swords. Is that really what we want? The Five of Swords is not my favorite energy. But let me look at this guy. The Five of Swords, I feel like what we want is to be right. The Five of Swords shows in the classic tarot that there was an argument, there was a fight, and we want to win at all costs. I don't like this energy, and I hope I'm not like that, but this is what the Five of Swords talks about, winning at all costs. And the thing about this card, the warning that I see there, is that we don't feel good necessarily about it afterwards, because we have hurt people in the process in order to get what we want. We may have cheated, there is blood on our hands with the Five of Swords. So I don't know why that would come as something that we want, but I'm going to read it as we just want to be right, no matter what the cost. And that's not something that's very pretty. Let's see. I'm going to see what that says just because I feel like it. So, and I want to know who they are. I like to see what the creators add to the story. See, these cards indicate conflicts and backstabbing. Watch for someone in your life. We don't need to watch because we're talking about what we want. This card represented by Rain, Prebus, and Anthony the Mooch Scaramucci. Prebus was White House Chief of Staff for President Trump for about 6 months in 2017, while Anthony Scaramucci served as White House Communication Director for a mere 11 days. The men were known to despise each other, and Scaramucci, I like to mess with that name, gave profanity-laden attacks to media about Priebus. These two men had shown in an alley after fighting a duel. Scaramucci has won the duel, as Priebus stand defeated, but at least he's not bleeding. But that just goes to show you, this is, how can anyone want this kind of relationship? But so to me, this is, like I was saying, you want to be right no matter what the cost. It's all about you, or it's all about us, and these are disgusting to me energies. Like, this is just showing a very dark side of ourselves. And the fact that the card is like right now standing under the Infinite talks about some really deep issues that we may all have and that we need to bring out, because this is just like how this was saying, like reworking the foundations about who we are. It's not about being right. It's not just about us. It's always about bigger. When you are in a relationship, there is more than you. It's not just about you. And keep in mind that anytime you are with someone else, this is something that's not just about you. So let's see what expectations that are not met. Where is the card number 2? This drawing is like very, oh, I can't see. The second card is going to be here. And this is what expectations are not being met in our relationships here. What are the expectations that are not being met, s'il vous plaît? The Nine of Pentacles. That's it. See, when I was telling you that this card is like, we are focused on ourselves, the Nine of Pentacles, that's a great expectation to have. It is a great expectation to have, because this is a great card. This means that we have worked so very hard. We want to reap the results of our hard work. This is, if you put any work in anything, a relationship, your job, cleaning your house, whatever, you want your house to remain clean. You want your car to be clean after you just washed it. You put any effort in anything, you want to reap the good results of it. So the expectations that are being met is that you feel like you're working hard and it's going nowhere. So yes, this is normal that this is aggravating, isn't it? I get it. Okay, where you don't, okay, where is it in this relationships that we don't see eye to eye, like any, you know, in this relationship, where is it that our little bees don't see eye to eye, s'il vous plaît? Where is it that you don't see eye to eye? In balance. Okay, this Justice again. Notice how we have someone, even though she's a great lady, we have somebody dressed in black. We have somebody dressed in white. This is like, I was going to say, this is like an angel of justice. This is the energies of yin and yang. This is the energies of balance. What I like about this Justice card is that usually justice is blindfolded, because we just follow the law. With this one, the eyes are open. So apparently, you guys can agree on just in your relationship that you want to fix. You cannot find a middle ground. You cannot find a balance. Justice is great because it talks about action, reaction. This is the universe itself in the energies of the Justice card, that if something is taken out from here, justice is going to come and put it back to bring balance back. Everything needs to be at a perfect level. It's not all black or all white. It needs to be balanced. And in this relationship, you just can't find this balance. One is seeing all black, one is seeing all white. I want to read it just because I want to know who these two ladies are. Their names, I recognize them, but I want to tell you, for those of you who don't recognize them, I try to stay away from the news, and I really have a hard time with people's name in general. So let's see here. I'm going to show it to you. I like it because the light is not reflecting too much on these cards. Good job, Elena. The positive meaning indicates someone who is ethical, fair, and truthful. And with the truthful and the sword, I don't know if it's not. Yes, she is holding the sword. This is important here because we had the sword on the throat of Dimfner. So again, that talks to me about communication and speaking the truth. The sword is the mental energy. This is the thoughts energies. This is the communication energy. It's important to speak and be truthful. Another meaning would be to expect a positive outcome with any legal decisions you are awaiting. The negative side of this card signifies the person who is unethical, untruthful, and consequences for their actions will arise. If you are awaiting a legal decision, it will not be in your favor. Oh, the negative side, because usually it is. Justice Brett Kavanaugh was appointed to the Supreme Court by President Trump in 2018. Accusations of sexual misconduct were alleged, and he was appointed after a contentious Senate hearing. Okay. Justice Kavanaugh represents the court, scowling and holding his favorite beer as Lady Justice stands behind him with the scales of justice askew. I'm like, where is the beer? I don't see it. I wonder if this is another card she wanted to do because I forgot about that. Let me see. This is not the Justice card that came out. There is, I believe, a few cards, and I forgot about that. I should have cleaned the decks. Apologies, because this is not what we are reading. And I'm like, give me a minute. I'm going to try and find it. Hang on. So apologies for that, because as I was reading, I'm like, this is not the Justice card that came out. I like it. These are way different type of people. So the original Justice card that she made represented the dark side of justice. We have the bright side of justice. Ruth Bader Ginsburg represents the light. Ruth Bader Ginsburg became the second female justice of the U.S. Supreme Court. Ginsburg fought hard to become a law professor, worked for women's rights with the ACLU, and was named to the Supreme Court by President Bill Clinton in 1993. She was admired for her dedicated work in several crucial Supreme Court cases. She became known as a liberal icon and was dubbed the notorious RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. As we know, her sits on her throne holding her sword of justice while the younger Ruth stands behind. So that's herself. Okay. So when I was talking about the angel, I was right. Because this is like an energy that's gone. She's imagined as a traditional Lady Justice holding balanced scales. The sky is behind her as she now belongs to the ages. Okay, and with the two pillars, that makes me think also of the High Priestess. We have a very feminine energy on this card as well, meaning that you guys can't agree possibly on a certain type of nurturing energy. There is no yin. Okay, the yin and yang balance here is brought up by the black and white, I find. But you guys are having a hard time finding a middle ground that will make you both happy. And that cannot make sense because this is the issue to fix any relationship. Sorry for going into the details of all those cards. I love how they go into the history, even though it is obvious that the creator has no love for Trump. That's obvious. I had originally bought the deck because to me, when I saw it, I found a certain humor within it, and as I read it and used it, I could feel a certain anger and desperation even within the creation, because it was like my country has abandoned me type of feeling when this deck was created, and a certain fear. This time it feels with this second, not that I want to get into the politics, so but I found that this deck is actually a lot darker than the humor I was first expecting, but it actually reads really well. I've been blown away by the readings I've made with it. I've liked it very much, in spite of the like with the Justice card. See, the first card was like very dark, but the other edition, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, this game, and I'm kind of glad I forgot about that. So we have more than 78 cards. I believe that's like 80 or 82. There was a quote unquote second edition cards. So she did remember that it's not all doom and gloom. Even though for some of us it may feel that way, especially as a woman, as legal immigrant and all that, I feel a certain how do I word this? Not necessarily concern, because I trust and I have faith that I am where I'm supposed to be, and wherever I will be, I will be. But you're still wondering, like, is this going to change my life a little bit? Even though I don't have to carry babies anymore, for example. So we shall see where that goes. But anyways, going back to your relationship, you want to find balance, and that's where you guys have a hard time finding it. Okay, so that's like yellow, like my mom used to say, la palisse. That's normal. We always want to try to find that balance that makes us be happy. But I do not like that energy, that dark energy we have. What is not being confronted in this relationship, s'il vous plaît, no guide? What is not being confronted? What is not being confronted? The Ace of Cups. Look at this beautiful Ace of Cups. I mean, look at this picture. It's absolutely beautiful. We have the rainbow that talks about wishes come true. You have a beautiful lady handing you a beautiful cup of love. We have the bird outside of the cage. So there is the energies of freedom. There is the energy of accepting love freely, of giving love freely. But to me, this is more about accepting, because the Ace of Cups is the gift of love, is the gift of beautiful emotions, is a gift of the universe, is I mean, do you feel this? I'm just looking at the card, I feel good. I want to cry. What's not being confronted with every one of us is the fact that we don't feel deserving of that love that is being and that, just like Tiffany was talking, and I read something, it's interesting, I read something about this morning, how this is a major problem. It feels like for a lot of us, we do not feel deserving of love, while this is a reminder that this is what the universe wants for us. This is I think I'm going to use this card. I'm holding on this card because I think this is the one I'm going to use as a picture for the reading. It's not being confronted, but it shouldn't be. It should be accepted. This is. I want to read it. Sorry, this is too beautiful not to be finding out what she wrote about. This is a touching card. I feel the light, I feel the love. It symbolizes a strong emotional beginning, and you may find that soon there will be the birth of a child, a marriage, or a creative project to embrace. So this is how much love is within this relationship you want to fix. Or that could be for some of us, you may be refusing to let go something for something this beautiful, again, because you don't feel deserving, but there could be something new coming, or that has come, and you refuse to look at this. That could be. There may simply be the happiness of forming a strong connection with someone, and the card also may symbolize a creative and compassionate person in your life. Maya Angelou is the face of this card. She was an American poet, author, and civil rights activist who inspired many, especially giving a voice to Black women and their experiences. She wrote a well-known autobiography called I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Maya Angelou is shown with a brilliant rainbow behind her and a beautiful bird who has finally escaped its cage. So, what's not being confronted also is that I feel the door of the cage is open and it's up to you to fly. So you have the freedom to love, you have the freedom to accept that love, you have the honor and the wonder to be loved by such beautiful energy. And you may feel like, for some of you, you may have the fear of being a prisoner. Being in a relationship is not being a prisoner. Being in a relationship does not stop you from looking at other people and talking to other people. It's possible you have been in a relationship with people that were so like that Four of Pentacles, that just like so tight on you that you felt like you were a prisoner. While you finally have the opportunity to have this free love, it's difficult for you to see, and that needs to be confronted. This is a beautiful thing. What do we need to let go of? What do a little bee need to let go in order to fix this relationship? S'il vous plaît, nos anges et guides d'amour. The Queen of Wands. Why would you need to let go of such a beautiful energy? So I do notice here that we have two African American ladies. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because there is this notion of two different backgrounds here. As I'm talking about that, I'm noticing we also have a bird on this card. We have a cardinal. I love this bird. We have the sunflower with a butterfly. So that's the energy of transformation. That's the energy of love and happiness. The Queen of Wands is very passionate. She's got fire, so she's a queen. Why is it that you want to? I would not want to let go of that. Why is it that we need to let go of that? I mean, Michelle, she's quite a lady. She's charismatic, she's fun, she's beautiful, she's energetic, she's giving. She was all powerful. Passionate, sexual, even with the energy of the wand. Why would you need to? Why is it that you need to let that go? I'll be like, no, hang on to that, but I could be having the same issue myself. So let us read the card. Queen. She represents a woman who radiates warmth and vitality and is often an inspiration to others. She is a natural leader who is intelligent. Okay, I think I see it. Especially with this energy here of the Five of Swords, that's like you want to be right no matter what. It's great to be a leader, but in a relationship, we are two. So with this energy of the Queen, like, you're not the Queen of Sheba or the Queen of the May, and I'm speaking of that with for male or female energy, or asexual energy, however you think of yourself as. It's not all about you, okay? Sometimes you need to go back into the observer and see what the other person wants to do or how they want to fix something. You need to help and support, but let's see. So she is intelligent, creative, and possesses an inner exuberance that fills her with ongoing energy. A negative queen may show a woman who possesses a fiery temper and a tendency towards selfishness. So that's where I was going. Our card is represented by Michelle Obama, who served as First Lady from 2009 to 2017. She worked as a First Lady to promote education, nutrition, and a healthy lifestyle. She's a lawyer, an author, and the first African-American First Lady. Michelle is depicted in the middle with sunflower, corn, and all the beauty of nature. So because this is the energy we have to let go, that takes me back to that. Like, you are really called since the beginning of this reading with the Tao here to remember that it's not just you. There, in a relationship, there is a notion of partnership, and there is two people working together. And again, whichever energy you may be in the relationship, you need to bring your point across lovingly. You need to be able to communicate what's on your heart, what's on your chest, what's in the middle of your throat, like here. But you need to do so. We need to do so with love and hearing. We lead better. I want to say by example. I don't know why that wants to come out, but in a relationship, it's both together. You're both looking in the same direction. You're not. That's what you need to do. That's what we need to do for the betterment of whatever situation of your relationship in any case. And if you cannot find that balance, that could just be that it's time to say goodbye without having to put somebody else down. Okay, what does your heart say? S'il vous plaît, no kid. What does a little bee's heart say? I want to reset this because I could not feel all the cards. What does our little bee's heart say? S'il vous plaît, no kid. What does the little bee's heart say? See, I wanted to go over here. Again, I know this is the Prince of Pentacles, but notice this Prince of Pentacles. Again, like, oh, we are in a dark thing. This Prince of Pentacles makes me think of that Four of Pentacles we saw. Your heart is like holding to that coin. It's selfish. It's me. It's ridden with fear. It doesn't want to let go. It's stuck. It's your heart is in a dark place, and your heart is in this thing. It's like it's all about me. We are dealing with a very selfish, and that selfish energy could very well be coming from fear, but you are really called to get out of yourself. I don't even want. I'm gonna go read it, but it's like I'm feeling like disillusions of grandeur and I mean, look at the fur and the way he's holding his head. Like, we are back with the energy of there is darkness in that heart. I have to admit I don't like it, and if I'm part of this, I don't like it just the same. Yuck. Prince of Pentacles. A young man who is practical, reliable, and down to earth. Okay, at least there is that. That's good. The dark side of this card projects someone who is greedy, unethical, materialistic. Donald Trump Jr. is the face of this prince. He is President Trump's son. A wealthy businessman who works managing his father's businesses and active in his administration. I don't know if he is this time, but he was back then. He has also horrified many for hunting endangered animals for sport. Don Jr. sits haughtily on his throne while wearing luxurious furs. Mounted animal heads watch from the hallway. So, again, that takes me back to that energy of all about me. You have beautiful heart. In beautiful things in your heart with your reliability and stuff like that, but you're so focused onto what it is that you want. Notice the strong energy, like we didn't right there, like it's royalty, it's upper, it's I'm feeling the disillusions of grandeur, like we feel like we are so good. It's not that we aren't, but there is a lot of darkness. I don't like it. I really don't like it. Anyways, part of me, so obvious of the little bees, part of the little bee. What is a part of the little bees that needs time to heal? What is a part of the little bees that needs time to heal? S'il vous plaît, no kid. The Prince of Wands. So, as the bottom of the deck was saying, the transformation, and this is, I was telling you, this death card is very dark, and that's why I didn't take it, because I hate this card. Okay, in this deck, the death card is a good card. It's a beautiful card. In some decks, like in the light seers, the death card is absolutely gorgeous. Let's see if I can find it really quickly. That talks about a beautiful transformation. Let's see if I can. Oh, here it is. See, death and rebirth. That's what the death card could look like. Okay, this is like hope. There is all this light around you. There is not even this is like a mental energy transforming and like seeing the star. Okay, this is not this horror. Okay, and we have the cage behind it. Interesting. So there is some transformation and healing, and taking care of your mental issues, I feel, will be a big part of fixing this this relationship. There is some darkness in your heart, like I said, coming from fear, coming from hurt, coming from wanting to be right, out of protection. When you have all these possibilities of redoing the foundations, there is some deep stuff to take care of, hence the mental stuff. Prince of Wand. I'm like, is his throne a toilet? This Prince of Wand. Okay, so the Suite of Wand, again, the Prince, we're going back to immaturity. The Suite of Wand is a suite of creation, of fire, of passion. This is, what is it? Part of me that needs time to heal. So the part of you that needs time to heal is that part, that that immature part. So like your, wherever you're coming from, your basics, your creative part, your artistic part, your passion part, like refinding all that you need. So interestingly enough, in this, oh my god, we're not done. Oh, wait a minute. How did I put this? 1, 2. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 7 is going over there. Okay, 7 is going over there. Let's see. I'm going to put this back here because I want to see next to what it's standing. Oops, that wasn't it. That's it. It's okay. So now that it's standing next to the Nine of Pentacles, it even makes more sense. When I was talking about, I was going to go to tell you that you need to focus on your passion, your what makes you happy. So there. Okay. So what is funny, I was going to say, is we're telling you not to be selfish. We're telling you not to focus on yourself, but you need to find again what makes you happy. Let's say, you know, you like to exercise, or you like to go on walks, or you like to knit, or you like to cook, or you like to do tarot, or you like to read, whatever it is that relaxes you, makes you happy, allows you to find yourself. Because look, there is a notion of being bored on this thing. Like, he's the king, is sitting on his throne here, but it's like, what am I doing here? So you need to find again what makes you happy. But that doesn't have anything to do with being selfish. And but that could help you, like, share with, let's say, for the pleasure of your other, and so, like, if it's a loving relationship, if it's like, if you've been giving to your kids and just focused on what makes your kids happy, it could make you happy, but you may realize that you have lost yourself and not doing stuff that makes you happy as well. So you could be teaching your kids about what it is that makes you happy, and doing it with them, and chances are they won't want to do it, but maybe find the time to do it for you in any way, or start a class about whatever, so that you can refine that fire, rekindle with yourself. I was looking at the feet. There is a cross. Like, say you could have, like, let's say you like to go to church for a while, you haven't gone. Maybe it's time to pick up this cross and go to church, or whichever church, you know, that you would attend. there is like money that's wasted, so maybe you feel like you've wasted some money, it's time to save a little bit or buy different types of things. Shoot, you know what, I don't have the meaning of the eighth card, so I'm going to use the eighth card as a message from the universe. So part of you that needs time to heal, what does the Prince of Wands, I want to see what else the book is going to tell us, if I can find it. Come on, the Prince of Wands, who is he? He represents a young man who, as a positive person, is dynamic, creative, and could be a leader for positive changes of society. So it's funny because we were telling you not to be this leader here, but you could be a leader. The dark side of this prince is an individual who is unscrupulous, impulsive, and manipulative. Paul Ryan represents this prince. He is a conservative Republican who served as a senator of Wisconsin. He was Speaker of the House from October 2015 to January 2019 and was supportive of President Trump's policies. The card shows him looking guardedly to the side. His cross lies carelessly on the ground with silver pieces spilling from a small bag. So, like the description of the card, like without getting into the politic aspects of it, is really somebody who is bored and hasn't been taking care of himself. That's the way I'm feeling this. So make time for what makes you happy. You see, and I find this interesting because with the balance card here, that was where you don't see eye to eye, is that it's very possible that you're from different background, you're from different ethnicities, you're from different countries, maybe different ages, different skin color, which could lead to certain ideologies and disagreement, or different ideas or different feelings, because you didn't have the same experiences. My very good friend is dark-skinned. I'm very fair. I'm a woman, so I've had, as a white woman with an accent in the United States, as an immigrant, I've dealt with certain things. My friend who grew up in the United States also with a dark skin, born here, so not an immigrant, dealt with certain things as well. And he may think, for example, that what he's dealt with is deeper than what I'm dealing with. And every time I have to remind him, like, okay, your experiences are not more important than mine because we don't have the same skin color, for example. Because I have my own pain and my own hurt and my own experiences of being diminished by other people. Even the ways that he diminishes my experiences, because he thinks that I don't understand what he's going through, even though I'm able to do the parallel with my own experiences, I can experience or feel his pain. And I feel like this is what this justice card could be talking about, finding this balance of understanding the other. Wow, I'm going really deep in this when I really didn't mean to. And I kind of, okay, so like all that to say that everybody's experiences, like we need to get out of the focus on ourselves, you know, with that leader that's like me, this one that's like I will be right no matter what. I will be selfish, when it's like it could be that you are feeling this way because you have been giving so much that you can't find that result of the hard work you've put in, and you cannot find time for yourself, for your growth, for what makes you happy. So make time for what makes you happy as well. If you are happy, you can help mending this relationship, because you will feel happy. You cannot make other people feel happy as well. This is up to them. So remember to look at it this way. And sometimes we get hurt because we are happy and want the other person to be happy with us. Again, trying to find that middle ground. When they're so centered on themselves that they cannot find that happiness either. So that takes us back to the mental thing with the mental situation. I'm talking about like the mental health, the talking with a professional, if you think that it will help. Maybe even a counselor. This is part of this. That's like changing. With the death card, we are called to change a lot of things. We are called for a transformation. We are called for a new life. It doesn't mean, again, that this is the end of this relationship. So obviously the message is very general. And I need to get an 8th card here. Alors, s'il vous plaît, no guide. Which card, which message for the universe here, s'il vous plaît? Which advice for our little bees? Ooh. How is that an advice? The 5 of Pentacles is when we feel destitute. When we have nothing. Oh, I got it. Oh, that looks like an immigration camp, by the way. I'm going to ignore the fact that this is an immigration camp, and because this is an energy, and the 5 of Pentacles, quite often, and it's next to the Justice too, so that's cool. We may have some financial issues. We may feel like we are very poor, but in the regular, I'm going to take it out. In the classic tarot, the 5 of Pentacles shows a church next to it. Some of them shows that we are going a certain way, and I can't remember which one it is. And there is a sign, like, you know, if you go this way, there is a help, but we are not looking at it. So we feel destitute, but help is there if we accept it. That's the thing. Sometimes we have so much pride, sometimes a lot. There is so much pride that we don't want to take the help. Where is the Pentacles? Is this? Yeah. Let me see. I want to show you it. Hardship. So the 5 of Pentacles, here it is. There have these people walking, you know, and there is like, so they could be like medical issues. There is obviously, we are poor, we have bad clothes, it's cold, we feel alone and abandoned and all that. But notice how you have 2 people and you have one that's guiding the other. Notice how here you have a mother with her 2 children. So whichever one you feel, you have the support of the other 2. You have the support of your sibling. You have the support of your mother. This is also the card saying it's a temporary financial hardship, negative change in circumstances, feeling left out in the cold, find a possible financial loss, a recession, feeling the world is against you, adversity, struggle, hardship, bad luck, homelessness, poverty, and unemployment. So those are the possible things. But because this card comes as an advice, you want to be reminded that there is help. No matter what, there is help for you. But it's also up to you to accept the hand. Whether it's a church, see how there was a cross here, and I was talking like maybe you haven't been going to church, so that hardship could be emotional hardship. It could be, in that case, you know, you can go look for help. It could be spiritual hardship. In that case, you can go and pray also and back to church. Help is always there. Let me see about that. Who can help our little bee here, s'il vous plaît? Nos anges d'amour, who can help our little bee? Ace of Wands. So you have the help of the universe. You have the help of this creation. And what that tells me here is that, again, you're going back towards your passion. The Ace of Wands is also, could be talking about a new lover, because it's a very phallic card. So that could mean that there is simply your partner, your lover, that's there to help you, and you've been so, I want to say even stuck up, that you refuse to see what they're capable of to help you. But that's also creative energy from the universe. So you can get out of this hardship if you realize if you see and accept your potential. Okay, so that was quite the interesting fixing relationship. I don't know how that's going to help you fix anything, so please let me know. I want to get you a message, 2 messages. I'm going to get the Wings of Wisdom, which has been quite the interesting deck. S'il vous plaît, nos guides d'amour. What message of hope can we give our little bees here when it comes to fixing this relationship? Any relationship, fixing any relationship. That's why the message was very broad. It talks about taking responsibility. You need to take responsibility for yourself too, I feel. What guiding message of hope for a little bit here? S'il vous plaît, I'm going to cut it because this deck, these cards are quite difficult. What do we have? Oh wait, great, we have 2. Okay, with a dove that talks about peace, and notice how we have 2. And a bunch of little heart in the middle that talks about peace, reassurance, resolution. I like that. Peace rises gently from within my heart, and my path is blessed with grace. So again, rises gently from within my heart, taking responsibility. That's what I find. Hand your worries to the divine feminine. Trust that she knows how to create solutions without force or aggression. You have the ability to settle your mind by tuning into your heart and letting go. Don't wait for things to be in order before you feel at peace. Give yourself to peace and trust in your heart right now. Even the most daunting problems can be resolved more gracefully than you realize. Letting go will bring resolution more quickly and graciously. The divine feminine is reassuring you that all is well. I'm definitely going to pick a Mother Mary card here. Look at this. This is such a pretty card. Can you see it? I'm going to leave it here. Ah, no, we can't. What if I do this? What if I do this? Here we go. And we have the mayflies that wanted to come with the flying dogs. That's too cute. Quickening opportunity. Say yes. Watch Yes Man movie with, what's his name? Even though he's turned really weird. But that shows how life turns around when you finally say yes. I say yes to life. When it is time to take a step, do so with the courage of your convictions. Recognize that opportunities are precious and are to be embraced without fear or without hesitation. Act without fear or regret. Live your life with a passion that was called here with all the fire, and bravery that comes from realizing that you only get to be you in this life, in this body, once. And for a limited time only. Time just goes by really, really, really fast. Allow that knowledge to fill you with gratitude and the determination to embrace your life with gusto. Step into new roles of opportunities, confident that you will find your way as you go. Beautiful. Where's Mother Mary? Oh, she went to hide all the way down here. Let's see. Since you had to trust the divine feminine, let's see what the divine feminine, as I think of, will tell us, s'il vous plaît, Maman Marie, un message supplémentaire pour nos petites abeilles, s'il vous plaît. Always trust and gratitude. That's always what it comes down to. There is 2 cards. I don't want to pick them because I wanted to get just one. But notice how we have the lily from Saint Daphnia and the phoenix, to me, that talks about rebirth, that talks about transformation, redoing your roots. Here we go. Our Lady of Quiet Blossoming. And we have the dove again. It's not on every card. I was just checking. The dove again talks about peace also and gentleness. Before transformation bears fruit, notice how we talk about transformation. You must labor with great trust. The seedling has profound courage. It gathers strength in the underground darkness before it is ready for the astonishing feat of cracking open its shell, powerfully pushing down roots and reaching up to break through the soil and find the light. You have such courage, instinct, and power within. Trust in your process and in what you must be. Notice how that talks about everything that we've talked about just in this card, with the redoing your roots, trusting, having faith, and just reread it, re-listen to that part, because that was a fantastic summary of this reading. And we've been at it for way longer than usual, but I still want to get you a gratitude card to close this. That was a long reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I spent a lot of time on this. S'il vous plaît, gratitude message for Alana B. It's like the longest episode ever. Cut it in two. Okay, here we are. And the two hands. Change the narrative. Okay, again and again. Reframe a negative thought into something positive. Sending you love, my little bee. Bye-bye.